Okay, guys, we're back. As you can see, again, the reason I played that video is I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. Also, she's better looking than I am. I'll tell you a little bit about why I'm excited. Again, we got afforded this opportunity and we got a sneak peek into it roughly 2 years ago. And I got excited for the simple opportunity that I would, number one, I like to be a smart shopper, if you will, right? And I believe that all of us should be. And I know after looking at the status and the facts, and you guys can do your own independent research, the ink is ridiculous. It's literally ridiculous, the amount of money that we have to pay. I recently went to help a friend of mine in California open up a business. He had to buy a brand new printer, brand new ink, all that. The ink alone cost him $100. I recently talked to him. It wasn't even 2, 3 months later, and he had to buy more ink. So this price that we're paying on ink, if you don't know, obviously it's $6,000 to $7,000 per gallon, and most of that obviously gets passed on to the consumer, which is us. So here we have the opportunity to be in $1 billion industry, but like she said in the video, we can choose to either be, caught up in somebody else's game, so to speak, or we can own our own business and we can go out there and we can earn 5 different ways. So now as a founder, the reason I get excited is because that means now that I'm part of this company, right? So we didn't talk too much about that. We're going to bring up Lenny Greene so that he can talk a little bit more about that. But I got involved in that aspect because I like being part of something, right? Something that I could put my name on and say, hey, I've actually had some significant difference in the background and the growth within this company. But I'll tell you, this opportunity is just like any other opportunity. If you don't put any work into it, you're not going to get anything out of it. But think about it for just a minute, especially if you're a founder in this room, or maybe if you're not, maybe you might consider being a founder, because I'm looking at it this way. I've never been huge, those of you that know me, never been huge on doing things for money. I do them for the satisfaction. The money kind of follows. Now I can think in the back of my head, not only will I be a founder, and there's some exciting things that are happening, which, I don't want to spill the beans. I'll let Lenny come up and talk about, which is going to put extra money in my pocket. Now I can also go and choose to be a distributor, an elite distributor, which will put more money in my pocket. Now I can also go and help my people be successful, which will put more money in their pocket, which will in turn put more money in whose pocket? Mine, right? So I'm not a money hungry person. We all know, that we all need it, to survive. Unfortunately, it's one of those things in today's economy. But the saying is the truth. When we say money makes good people great and bad people worse, right? So it's really up to you what you do with your funds and your money that would be coming in. Again, that is all in direct proportion with what you physically do and how you get engaged with this business. So I'm very excited to be part of the founders group, part of your success as well. And without further ado, I want to bring up Lenny Greene because I'm just kind of excited to hear some of these updates and stuff. So Lenny Greene, if you would join us, come on up, brother.
Hello,
Lenny,
good
I'm
morning.
just super excited.
Good morning, good
I'm going to
morning.
change over to chat so that we see each other a little bit bigger. But I'm super excited, Lenny. Some of the things that we got going on in the background, one thing that I can say to everybody again, and I've mentioned this in the past, that if you're not directly involved in the background and stuff like that, you often many times don't get to see what's actually being done in the background until you actually hear about it or have those updates. So we've got a few updates, and I'm pretty excited about the things that you're going to be sharing.
All
So I'll
right.
give the floor to you, brother.
All right. Well, thank you, Blakester. I want to thank you for everything you do, and I also want to thank our female spokesperson, Tracy Snow, who's doing a great job on those videos. Welcome everyone to the Ink Revolution. We're going to take this planet from ink dependence to ink independence, and I am really excited about this business. I'm passionate about this business, and I'm inspired about this business. And I appreciate all of you. We keep getting a bigger and bigger following each week, and hundreds of people are looking at this webinar. And we track who comes to the website where we post the recording, and hundreds are just looking at the webinar and learning from us. And this opportunity is spreading virally, and I am just so excited and passionate about it. I really am excited about the enthusiasm that all of you have. You know, I talk to a lot of you during the week in between the calls, and you know, I talk to a lot of brand new people, and the enthusiasm and the excitement is just incredible. You know, when I was 12 years old, growing up in New York, I shoveled snow in the winter. That's what I did for a living. And then in the summer, I cleaned swimming pools. So I was always an entrepreneur. Um, and if I had an opportunity like this when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, you know, it would be incredible. Somebody told me back then that I could have a website that has 5,500 products that are ink and toner related, that fill the need, and that we are an alternative to printing. It just would have been incredible what I would have been able to do with that back then. I'm doing it now, of course, but now we're about to have our grand opening, and we're all going to be doing this, and it's really, really exciting. You know, the industry, the inkjet industry alone, there's inkjet and toner, and the inkjet industry alone is predicted to go from $33.4 billion last year up to $67.3 billion by 2017. It's going to double. That's just the inkjet alone. The inkjet and toner industry by 2017 will be north of $100 billion industry. You know, there are 30 cartridges being purchased every second worldwide. And I want people to purchase those cartridges from you, from your website. So I'm just really, really excited with that. You know, we like to start off and show the Synergy Comp Plan and that little blue display of who uses ink. Everybody uses ink. What's so exciting about this business is that no matter who you talk to, they're printing. They either have a laser printer or an inkjet printer. Most people you talk to have both. You know, the average household here in the United States has an average of 2 printers. There's a printer in the home for the husband and wife. There's a printer in the home for the high school child or the college child. It's incredible. Most people I talk to lately are telling me they have 3 printers. Some people tell me they have 4 printers. And everybody is sick and tired of the insane prices that they're spending at superstores. You know, everybody you talk to, and you all are users yourself. You know that, you know, you do 200, 300, 400 pages. Most of the time under 400 pages, 350 pages. You're out of ink. You go back to the superstore. You buy a black and color cartridge. You come back, you put it back in your printer. Another 200, 300 pages later, you go back and do it again and again and again. Here at Inkway USA, we are the alternative. And I hope you like the video. One of the things I want to share with you today cuts into the elite profit sharing pool. And that's what I want. You know, I like to repeat that video because we all need to learn it so that we can walk the walk and talk the talk. There's also a great video on YouTube right now, which is a coaching video done by me, which tells the story of me sitting at a breakfast in Nashville, Tennessee when I was there making our IVO videos. All the videos you're seeing were done in Nashville. And basically, it's a great video to watch. It tells you how to walk the walk and how to talk the talk with just regular people that you meet every day. Everybody is a customer already, and everybody's getting ripped off. So when you let them know that they could save time, save money, reduce their carbon footprint by not throwing cartridges into landfills, they get really excited. And not only do they want to be a customer of yours, but they want to see what the business opportunity looks like. And on your replicated website, you will have a series of 10 videos done by Tracy Snow. I'm in one of them, showing them how to join this opportunity on autopilot. So you don't even have to go over it with them of how they can join the opportunity. You just need to get them to your website, and it takes it from there, where they can be a customer or they can join the opportunity and join you. So I'm really excited. I have some announcements. The first one is, and some of you know that you've been talking to me about it, but I have a new granddaughter who is almost 2 days old. Her name is Scarlett. She was born the other day, a day and a half ago, at Thursday night at 8:22 p.m. and she was 7 pounds 15 ounces. And my daughter is doing well. My granddaughter is doing well, and it's really exciting. You know, the cycle of life. What a blessing. Unbelievable. You know, and my daughter was 9 days late, and with modern technology, they have us come to the hospital every day, and they hook her up in the morning to a sonogram, and then they hook her up to a baby monitor. So I've been spending a lot of time in and out of the hospital up until last night. I think my daughter is, I'll probably be back to the hospital one more time today, and they'll probably send my daughter and the baby home today. So I'm really excited about that. I want to tell you some exciting news about the business. You know, that was some personal exciting news, but you're all here to hear about the business too. And basically, I want to tell you that on Thursday, we closed a deal with a major big box retailer. And we did that for our sister division, Inkway. You know, our company is Greene Concepts. That's the publicly trading company. Trading symbol LKEN. That's L for Lenny, K for Kenny, E for Eleanor, and N for Nancy. And Greene Concepts now owns Inkway USA as a subsidiary. It also owns AccuBright as a subsidiary. So we have AccuBright sitting here, and we have Inkway USA sitting here. And AccuBright is the manufacturing arm, and all the products for Inkway come from AccuBright. So AccuBright also, earlier in the year, I invented a new refill system. It's called Intelligence. And right on the box it says Intelligence by Inkway USA. And AccuBright manufactures it, so the salespeople that go out to offer this to big box retailers represent themselves as AccuBright. And I'm going to tell you in a minute how this makes you money at Inkway, because it makes you money at Inkway. And so we closed this big box retailer when the contracts are signed, when we deliver our first 100,000 or 200,000 products, and they're out in all the stores. We're going to have, right prior to that, there's some steps we have to go through now, but right prior to that, we will release a public press release. And when we do, then we can tell you what the name is. A lot of you can guess what the name is, but you know, right now we're looking at the store chain is looking at how many of the Black Intelligence products are going to go into each store, how many of the color refill kits are going to go into each store, which aisle is it going to go in. You know, we're already being told that it's going to go into, of course, the cartridge aisle, but it's not going to be sitting with the cartridges because a refill kit won't stand out. People go there to buy cartridges. They're going to move it to the middle of the aisle where they have accessories. And I'll tell you, about 2.5 years ago, my wife and I went to 3 different stores. Of these stores, I almost said the name. And we went to the cartridge aisle, and we took photos, and we stood there, and we took photos of the left of the aisle, the right of the aisle, the middle of the aisle, the end cap of the aisle, and so forth. And I bought from that store the biggest boxes they had. I didn't care what in the cartridge aisle, the biggest, whether it was paper or whatever. And I bought the biggest boxes, and I came back and I did an analysis on the size of what my Intelligence box was going to look like and where in that aisle I thought it should go. And so it was all created, and you know, as an inventor, that's how things are created. They first come from thought, then we put them down on paper, then we go get into action and we execute step by step by step. And so it just, the full turnaround of it is that the buyer this week said that he wants to put it in the cartridge aisle and he wants to put it in the accessory area. And that's exactly where I stood with my wife taking pictures, saying this is where my new invention should go. It'll stand out here in the middle of the accessories, in the cartridge aisle, but not with the cartridges. And now, without saying that to anyone until today, you know, only my wife and I knew about that. The buyer is saying that's where he thinks it should go because it'll stand out. So we're going over quantity. We're going over exactly where in the aisle. We're going over signage. There's a nationwide media blitz campaign that goes with this. A percentage of all billing goes to TV commercials. So there'll be a TV commercial for Intelligence by Inkway USA, and then it'll say sold at, and it'll name the store that it's sold at. So we're really, really excited about that. And basically, this week in Las Vegas was the Consumer Electronics Show. And that's where the buyer agreed to meet with us. And we've met him in his town. Almost said it again. We met him in his town, in his offices, on more than one occasion. We have an independent sales rep that works with me hand in hand, so I've been there myself. And then the sales rep has been selling to this large big box chain store for a long time. So he sells other products too, and he knows a lot of other buyers. And anyway, so the meetings were at the Consumer Electronics Show, at the hotel of the buyer, at a breakfast. And so here I was on Thursday morning, and I want to tell you a quick little story, but I'll jump back a minute. 28 years ago, my daughter, who a lot of you know, she works in the Inkway USA back office, AJ Greene. When she was born 28 years ago, I was in the room with my wife, and we had trained for Lamaze breathing, and I was telling my wife, breathing pattern number 1, and she would be breathing, and you know, and we would go through this whole thing while she was in this long labor, and the nurses would finally tell me, go take a 10-minute break. And I'd run out into the hall and get on a payphone in the hallway. And I was calling this big deal. At the time, I was working on a maintenance contract for printers and PCs at European American Bank. And it was getting closer and closer to closing, leading up to this day that AJ was born. And I needed to be at the meetings, but of course I needed to be in that delivery room helping my wife and helping her breathe with doing Lamaze. And so, make a long story short, AJ was finally born. I had called the guy twice during my 10-minute breaks. She was born. They told me I could go out again and take a little break. I ran into the hall. I called the guy, and I closed European American Bank. And it was 500 branch locations all throughout the 5 boroughs of New York. We closed the deal, and I'm just really excited about that. How does this affect you guys? Let's go to that, okay? Well, the AccuBrite is the sister division of Inkway USA. It's the manufacturing arm, and it's the sister division. And we agreed last year to take 20% of AccuBrite bottom line profits and put it over to Inkway. So 20% of the profits from this chain store rollouts go over to Inkway. And what also happens when you close a big box retailer of this size, all the other guys line up and and all of a sudden become interested. So we're working on over 100 different chain stores across America, and you know, a lot of them now are going to sign up because of what's happening. So I'm laughing because I'll tell you later. Anyway, so to go further, a lot of these other people are going to sign up. When I signed up European American Bank 28 years ago, it was the first maintenance contract for printers and PCs that we had signed under our new division at the time. And shortly after that, 465 other banks and large accounts throughout the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and it went nationwide area signed up right behind, because when I was able to walk in and say, I do all of the PC maintenance now for all the printers and all the PCs and all the wide area network routers and hubs for European American Bank, well, then the next thing that happened was Bank of New York said, do mine. The next thing that happened when I walked in and said, I have Bank of New York and I have a European American Bank, Citicorp said, you could do mine. And it was one after another after another. You know, my nickname at the time was Bulletproof. No matter what account, you know, I went after, I closed it. There was times where I went after 10 accounts in a row and closed 10 out of 10. And it was just one after another. So I believe for us, we're going to be having our grand opening very, very shortly. You know, I'm pushing to have us open by the end of this month. But I believe that with our grand opening, with this happening with the big box rollout, that you're going to see one large chain store after another fall in line and come on board with us. Now, 20% of the profits from the sister company, from your sister company, because a lot you founders are sharing 22.5% of Inkway profits. Now 20% of the profits of AccuBright are going to be put into Inkway. And 5% of that 20% goes to a founder pool. The other 15% goes into that elite profit sharing pool, which gets emptied every 6 months, which you guys are going to share in as you make your synergies. So that's the exciting, two of the exciting news is that I wanted to bring up today about Scarlett, and I wanted to bring up about the big box retailer that we all have to keep the name to ourselves. With that, I wanted to let you know some things about the new, not the new, but the extension of the Founder Program. We've extended the Founder Program and opened it up for 50 more units. A bunch of those are sold already. They're going to sell out quick. And, you know, we've increased the profit from 20% to 22.5% to accommodate the extra 50. So none of you guys as the original founders, some of the new founders might be on today too, but none of the original founders will be diluted in their profit share. That's why I increased it by 2.5%. So it's 22.5% of Inkway profits are going to be shared by you guys. So the Founder Program, you know, we set out to build this platform for our grand opening. And basically what happened was it was about $1 million that was needed to build this platform. And what we did was we only raised $400,000. So one of the questions I want to have you all ask, because there's some negative people out there and there's some naysayers out there. And so if any of you know anyone or you know how to take $400,000 and buy up $1 million in services and make that work, if you know how to do it better than I'm doing it, please let me know. So I just wanted to let you know that it's all working out. You know, we've taken every penny that we have, every penny that I have had, every penny that my mother has, my sisters have, and, you know, we have borrowed from family, friends to make this happen. But again, you know, we were trying to get $400,000 to spread over $1 million. So there's a lot of vendors that are with us that are half paid and that understand the mission and understand the dream, and they're with us and they believe in us and they understand that once we have our grand opening, they will get paid in full. And there's a couple of negative people out there. You know, I don't think there's more than one or two actually that I hear constant comments from. So I just want to let you know that, you know, it's almost an impossible task to make $1 million spend happen with $400,000, but we've done it. We did it. We're almost there. So we need a little bit more funding. So that's why we opened up the Founder Program, and I wanted everybody to understand exactly what I'm doing and why. So we're trying to raise another $50,000 through the Founder Program. If you, a family member, or anyone wants to become a founder, there's still units available. A whole unit is $1,000. A half unit is $500. A quarter unit is $250. And if anybody's interested, you can bypass the office, call me directly, and I'll process you myself. That way there's no waiting, there's no callbacks, and my number is area code 559-289-4465, and Blakester, can you put the number down below? Way ahead of me, way ahead of me. So 559-289-4465. For those of you who want to email and not call, you can email me at ceo@inkwayusa.com. And I'll tell you why I was laughing before. My wife was in the room over here, and I'm on camera, and she was getting dressed, and so she needed to come out, and so she came out, but she crawled out under the chair and behind me, and as she was doing that, that's why I started to laugh before. So she didn't want you to see her on camera, not dressed yet. Now that she's we call her Grandma, we call her Ganny, and we call her Glam-mar. So we're all excited about that. Okay, so I just wanted you to know about the Founder Program. If anybody's interested, call me at 559-289-4469. Email me at ceo@inkwayusa.com. and we'll go from there on the founder program. Now, Greene Concepts, the publicly trading company, you could just imagine we're a penny stock. Okay, so we closed on Friday night just under a penny. We were 0.0080. And we've been as high as 4 cents so far, and we've been much lower than a penny. So we've been at 1/100th of a penny. We've been at 1/4 of a penny. So we're almost at a penny. So we have a private stock offering approved by the Securities and Exchange Commission at Greene Concepts. So if anybody's interested in buying a piece of the whole company, you guys as founders are already sharing the profits from the 2 subsidiaries. But if anybody wants a piece of Greene Concepts, trading symbol LKEN, L-K-E-N, L for Lenny, K for Kenny, E for Eleanor, and N for Nancy. That's our trading ticker symbol. Give me a call or email me. You now have my numbers, you have my email address, and we have a registration D 506 private placement offering, and for $1,000 you will get 300,000 shares of LKEN stock, which you'll be able to sell in 1 year. So within that, between now and a year from now, it's amazing what's about to happen. You know, I believe that Greene Concepts, Inkway USA, AccuBright is going to be one of the fastest growing companies in 2014. So again, if you want a piece of the company, you can buy a unit. It's called a private placement stock offering unit. It's a registration D 506. It's 1 unit, $1,000 for 300,000 shares of stock. So if you're interested in that, call me, email me. And with that, I'm trying to think of, I wanted to let you know that also at the Consumer Electronics Show, there was 11 other large chain stores, I'll try my best not to mention their names, that are also interested in looking at the intelligence product line. And because of what happened in the morning breakfast meeting, the moment they hear about the big boy, they all want in. So there's a lot of action going on right now from that show from last week. We're really excited about that. And, you know, more will be revealed to you as we progress. So let's see here. I think I might have covered all the things. I didn't. Okay. Also, now we have an advisory board, and I want to thank the guys on the advisory board. Okay, we have Robert Blakely, who's the Blakester, who you see here today, and there's Jason Reeves, and he's on our call today too. There's David Johnson, and then there's Mark Molnar. And on a daily basis now, you know, probably about 1.5 years ago, when it was brought to my attention that I need to have this advisory board, I was always a leader and a loner. I always did everything Lenny's way. So I had some resistance about letting new people that I didn't know in. But I got to tell you, it is the best thing I have ever done. So now, on a daily basis, we're going back and forth with anything, any move I make, anything I'm going to do. There are no knee-jerk reactions from me. Anything that's going to happen, I go over it with the advisory board. And all the people on the advisory board are founders at Inkway. A bunch of them, most of them, are shareholders at Greene Concepts and LKEN. So I can get a perspective from them of what the shareholders are thinking or what they like or don't like. I can get a perspective from them of what the founders like or don't like. So I always like to surround myself with people that are better than me, people that are more intelligent than me. And as we move forward, you know, this advisory board works with me now on a daily basis, and I want to thank you from my heart. You make my heart smile for all the things you guys do and all the help you have given me. So with that, as we grow, I'm going to bring in more and more people that are better than me. I'm going to bring in people that are smarter than me. I'm going to bring in all kinds of talented people. And a lot of these people are part of our founder group already. And I'm already talking to a lot of you. So I'm just letting you know it's going to get bigger and better and greater than we already are. So the last thing is that the advisory board put together, and Blakester is the lead on this thing, is Blakester's working on a major paper company. Now, if you go into Staples or Office Depot or Office Max, this company sells boxes and reams of their paper by the box, by the ream, in these superstores. If you go into Walmart, this paper company sells boxes, reams of paper in Walmart. So the advisory team has come up with a fantastic idea of putting an insert into every ream of paper that would sell. We're not sure yet what we're going to agree on with the major paper company, but it might be the intelligence product line. It might be our empty refillables. You know, we have 5,500 products to discuss with them, but there's going to be a flyer in that box of paper, in that ream of paper, so that every end user that goes to open up a ream to put that paper in their printer has an alternative. So Blake's has been working on that account. They called him back yesterday to discuss it more in detail. And so this is just the beginning of really over 100 accounts that we've been, a lot of them we're working on, a lot of them are on our list to be worked on. So I just wanted you to know that happens through the AccuBrite division. And again, 20% of those profits go over to the sister company, Inkway USA. So I just wanted to let you know that, and with that, we're gonna go in a moment. We're gonna go to Q&A. I want to bring the Blakester back up. I didn't think I would go this long today, but you know, I was just letting God speak through me today. Welcome back.
No worries. Hey, brother, I'm really, really excited. Again, you know, as I mentioned before, I cut out of here and let you talk. A lot of times if we've ever been in the position that we're in now, or, you know, I've been there before, to see something that you're waiting to open, we tend to get a little frustrated. Some people get negative, all that good stuff. But again, if you can see what's going on in the backside and what everybody's literally doing, it's kind of neat and interesting how those little puzzle pieces come together and they interconnect to create a beautiful little picture that eventually will pay off for each and every one of us. So I want to first off say I appreciate everybody's positive venture, their thoughtfulness, and all that other good stuff. Just hang in there, guys. Hang in there. We're almost around the corner. I was excited to get that call back. And again, it doesn't promise anything. It's just the beginning of an open relationship to see what we can do. So as we're working in the back scenes here to do these major retailers and things of that nature, remember, you guys as founders especially are going to be very happy that we took that time to get everything straight. Website will be done soon. We're not putting a date on it. We are still pushing for this month, right? So just so everybody knows. But there's also things that we have to consider, obviously. And wouldn't it be great if we could actually go and put on the website as sold in blah, 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 right? And yeah, you did really good, Lenny. I appreciate the information. You did blow it that one time, so I do got to edit. The less editing, the better, but I think we're good to go with just the one edit, man. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being here, taking a part in this, and also, you know, taking the time out of your day to get these updates, however small or big they actually are. So with that being said, I'd say we open up for questions and answers. If anybody has any questions, now would be the time to ask them, and we'll see what we can do to answer those questions and go on with our beautiful weekend. Absolutely, David. Absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work, baby.
David said, go Team Greene, go. Together we can move mountains. And I agree with that. I really agree with that. Any questions, comments? Jump in now.
Yeah, again, you know, if you guys actually knew like some of the emails that go back and forth and some of the people on the advisory team and the input that they do, realistically, I mean, the input that I was given was the information that I needed to do my part to be able to open up that relationship or that door, so to speak, so that we could possibly have this great opportunity with this big paper company. And then that's just the beginning, right? You get your foot in the door, then you start opening the door a little bit more and more. So as we progressively go forward, things should be very great.
Comment we have here, someone said here, a good time to get the stock while it's low. So again, if you're interested in getting a piece of the company, which is buying stock, call me at 559-289-4465. And then let's see, we have asked here, someone asked me how to target specific different types of customers. So I'd like to say two things there. One is go back to our InkWayUSA.com page, click on presentations, and watch the webinar on the 3 types of customers, number 1. Number 2, email me specifically what type of customers you're talking about so I can one-on-one help you and train you, and I'll do that always with everyone. And then also wanted to mention that we, at InkWayUSA.com, when you go to that website now and you click on the sign up button, the founders, people can sign up already as an elite distributor, as a basic distributor, or as a founder, and as a founder at $1,000, $500, or $250, right on that form. And there's a button there if you want to learn more about the founder program. Click here, and a 2-page document comes up explaining the founder program and explaining the 8 points of paid commissions. So one of those points is if you guys refer anybody right now to be a founder, you make $100 on every founder unit when they sign up for a $1,000 unit. So if 5 people come on, you make $500, and you make that right away. So Blakester, why don't you answer that question also about the types of customers?
I was just going to say, to be a little bit more specific for everybody as well, it just depends on your marketing experience, right? Because some of us may not know much about marketing at all. Maybe some of us just got involved in network marketing or marketing in general. So when you're talking about targeting different people, I think that David he's wondering right there too. The person, he says, is an owner of a computer store and wants to use specific Inkway USA material to target them. Right now, they can get all the information that they need right on Inkway USA. If there's any kind of signups, obviously, you want to mention yourself or that computer store owners as the referrer, right? However, when we do launch and we actually have the websites, then that store owner, if they are an elite distributor, they would then have their own website that they can then refer their customers to. They would buy, and then that would produce the volume out of their store. Now, when you're talking about more in-depth marketing and actually targeting customers, you got to be a little more specific, because you can go and you can do pay-per-click type ads. You can also go and, if you have the right tools, you can create and generate your own list of people that are actually interested in ink, right? So, for example, myself or my team, I've worked with them and also talked about creating their own splash pages so that you go and you find and create the interest. I know some people have already created their own Facebook pages as well, right? So there's a lot of different ways to do that, David. So again, I mean, you can contact us, or that's part of why we're going to be doing these weekly trainings as well, to try to give you guys the knowledge and the expertise to draw from our years of experience of doing this type of thing as well. David says, I really like how you make yourselves available to answer any and all of our questions. Well, we appreciate that, David. I mean, realistically, here's the thing, guys. We know and we understand that it's not about us. It's about you guys. Especially us as founders, it's about us collectively together working this out. Again, I know that many of us as founders may not have an integral part or in the direct front lines or in the trenches, so to speak. So we can tend to have some negativity or wonder and wait, hey, why is this taking so long? But together, collectively, it's going to be a very great thing. That's why I'm personally excited. For those of you that know me personally know that I don't just put my name on anything. But when I heard about what Lenny was doing, it was important for me to get involved, not only because I like liquid, but ink itself, again, It's a billion-dollar industry, and it's not too difficult to understand on marketing as a whole. You have to have a unique selling proposition. You have to have a good product, and we have those two things, number one. So now when you're talking to a consumer and saying, okay, instead of you going and spending, let's say $1,000 a year on ink, and you can spend only 500, that's saving $500 to somebody. That's putting money back in their pocket. People like that, right? As long as you go and you find, as far as targeting the customer, you have to find the person that has the need for the product that you're selling. In this case, it's ink, right? So target, market, or talk to people that are business owners, maybe print shops. For example, we're talking to paper companies, that kind of thing. I'm doing this as part of the company to help the founders, but it doesn't mean that you can't go and use your own contacts and your own expertise, if you have it, to reach out to some of these paper companies and say, hey, look, this is what we're doing. We'd love to try to partner with you, talk a little bit about what we could do. And if there's something that arises like that and we can make that partnership, and if maybe you're shaky or unsure about how to do that, get with us and we'll do everything that we can to try to facilitate that and make sure that you're deeply benefited from that. So hopefully that helps answer those questions. But there's a lot when you say target marketing.
The question on 3D printing is we have been offered a distributorship for 3D printing, and we are following up, and we are going to sign up for that. So we'll be adding that to the Inkway USA site very shortly. I know that AJ in our back office was just showing us a video from the master distributor that's inviting us to be a distributor just 2 weeks ago when we were in a meeting at headquarters. So thanks for bringing that up. I will remind her today to let me know where we're at with that. But yes, we will be going forward with that.
Not just that, I mean, that's actually the future of printing. If anybody's paid attention to that 3D printing, I mean, they're literally into the process to where they're literally printing guns and all kinds of different stuff, right? So it's definitely the wave of the future. We want to ride that wave and see everything that we can do to capitalize on it, so to speak. And again, that's going to be something that's going to benefit all of us.
Excellent, excellent. All right, any other questions? Let's see here. Yes, the question was, Lenny, you will be able to do some interviews and have the Inkway USA story told in different publications, magazines, newspapers, etc. And yes, as we get going and as there's cash flow, we're going to take a percentage of company monies and put it into promotion, and that promotion is going to be TV commercials. It's going to be newspaper articles. It's going to be magazines. It's going to be a total media blitz, radio campaign, TV campaign. And as you all saw at the beginning and the end of the video, where it comes up and says Inkway USA, Inkway the better way, and it blows off into the dust. And Inkway now has its own sound. That's our, we designed that. We spent a lot of time and money on that. And that's going to be our TV. That's going to make Inkway USA a household name. Everyone's going to hear that sound, and in their mind, they're going to go, oh, that's Inkway USA. Just the way we see an Intel chip commercial, and it says, dun, 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 and we go, oh, that's an Intel commercial. We're going to spread this throughout the world virally, and we're going to be putting money back into the business over and over and over again.
This is Inkway USA license plates.
Well, I have a license plate that says Inkman 7 on it. I've had it for 10 years now. My wife has her license plate says Mrs. Ink. However, the funny part, I don't think my wife will think this is funny, but my wife's license plates right now are up on the wall. There's one up on the wall right here, and I want to show it to you, actually. There you go. You see that license plate, everybody?
Nice.
Mrs. Ink. The other one is up on the wall in our office, and my wife and I right now are sharing a car, and the license plate says Inkman 7 on it. So I don't think she'll think it's funny that it's up on the wall. I think it's funny, but down the line we will be getting her a car again. But like I said before, we've taken every penny we have had to put it into this business, and I will continue to do that when we're cash flow positive and when we're rolling in the dough. A percentage of the money will constantly go back into the business to promote your futures, my future, and my wife's new car eventually.
Well, we're about out of time. Do you want, we've got about a minute, but Maxwell said, would a co-op be developed for customers from these marketing and commercial advertisements? I'm imagining the answer would be yes, and I don't know whether you would turn that to DeMarc Media or we would do our own internal campaign. Do you want to answer that
Yeah,
real
what?
quick?
Yes. We're working on the parameters of the Media Blitz campaign. I'm not sure yet how exactly it's going to work, but we're working on it so that not only can you share in the leads, but we're going to make you part of it. We might even have we're considering having a Media Blitz founder program where the founders of that program might get the leads, or it might be, I mean, the company doesn't get anything. We don't take anybody on directly. It has to be referred by one of you guys. So, nobody comes into our company directly. So that we're never gonna cut our nose to spite our face. We're always gonna support you guys. So everyone who comes on has to come on through you. So we're not sure yet how that's going to be situated, but we have worked on many options, and we will come out with that. I mean, my first concern and laser focus is on this grand opening. Grand opening first, then fine tune everything to get it on autopilot. Once it's on autopilot and it's running automatically, then I can move over and focus back on the Media Blitz campaign. So, as I said earlier, more will be revealed on that along with other things. Well, thanks for that question. Good
It's,
question.
it's very important, guys, that you pay attention to your emails, the ones that are coming out. Make sure that you whitelist us so that you're getting the emails themselves. Because anytime that would come up here, we're going to do our best to make sure that we give you guys the first and foremost updates on when we're actually going to open the doors. But at the same time, we also want to make sure that everybody's up to date on what's going on in the back office and behind the scenes, so to speak. So if there's no other questions,